Man, let's start that over, man. That's my shit. What's going on, everybody? We'll be starting here shortly. What's good, everybody? We'll get started here shortly. Appreciate everybody coming in. I'm just sharing out the link real quick. Like a Georgia peach tree, you can sweet tweet behind the scenes, running down your beach. All the bloody me, the feeling up to my teeth. I looked over to the left. I think we should let it burn tonight. No, I love it when we slip inside. Don't stop, now we got a drug supply. So we wake up and repeat. You get every little thing. You ain't never seen a dream like this. Heaven at your fingertips. Don't you let a minute slip. Just say you have me. Oh, taste it and see. Hope you don't sleep on me. I got good plenty. I've been over spaces in the dream. It's magic when I taste it in the dream. Every day spent all in the sheets. And love it when I tell you what you mean. Chemistry, intimate, and every time I give you all my energy, emphasis, never sleep. you have me. Oh, taste and see. Hope you don't sleep on me. I got plenty. Seen all this before my mind. All I ask is take a sweet time. Go around and see what you find. Long as I can call it mine. Oh, I can give you everything you dream about. Let me be the one to reassure you that you'll never run out. Just oh, taste and see. What's good? What's good? What's good? Appreciate everybody coming through. We're about to get started here shortly. Let's see what we got. All right, I just shared out all the links. Y'all give me 1 minute. All right. Quail, what's going on? Jason, what's going on, brother? Appreciate y'all coming through. All right. Cool. All right. Appreciate everybody tuning in from Facebook, everybody tuning in from YouTube. All right. I got everything situated. How everybody doing tonight? Hold on 1 minute. Got my liquor here. My fault, y'all. I had to get a cup. I like the way this camera show up a little bit clearer than the other one. I sent the link to your other page. Wait for one person to go on tag in with me. Rail, what's going on, bro? Yeah, man, I had to get rid of it, Jason, man. It was time to go, man. I had to fix my line a little bit. Don't look homeless no more. Quail, I got you. Give me 1 moment. I'm sending a little link now. Y'all let me know if that music too loud.
Y'all give me a minute. I'm waiting for one more person. Real, you started drinking yet, bro? Ooh, I forgot to share the link. One more place. Uh, Real, if you could do me a favor, bro, could you share the link to our group on TikTok? I'm gonna try to do it from here, but just in case I can't get in because I'm on this program, I appreciate it. Quail, what's going on, mama? Hey, let me know what you think about it, Real. How are you? That's good. That's good. Let me cut this music down a little bit so I can hear you. Okay. All right. I just had to share it out to my TikTok, and if you want to share it too, you can have people come up if you choose to. That's totally up to you. I appreciate you coming up here, rocking with me.
Thank you. I don't know if my background is loud, but
It's all good. All right. How are you this evening?
why do it sound like it's echoing? You live on two things?
I think yours is echoing a little bit, and I can hear your background noise. Okay, I got you in here, but I can't hear you. Okay, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through. Can you hear me? Okay. So, what's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all for those of you who are tuning in. And if you don't know by now, my name is Sean, and this is my brainchild, the Woken Wild podcast. Thank y'all for coming and chilling with me on a Friday night. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Appreciate that. I got Miss Quail, so what with me? Quail, say hey to the people if you can, because I can't hear you. And if anybody needs to tune in from YouTube, the actual page is the Woken Wild podcast, and yeah, you can look that up on YouTube, and you can find it from there as well. I got two more people I need to share this out to though that I forgot about, and that's okay because that'll give Miss Quail time to get herself situated. Let me share this to Taji and Tommy.
So let me change the devices because this keeps echoing in this late.
Okay, take your time. I'm here.
How do I take my foot off?
I got you. I'm gonna take you off from here. All right, Quail. And just come back whenever you get situated, but I appreciate you. Is it good? What does that mean, Quana? Because I'm trying, Lord, yeah. Because I'm trying, Lord, yeah. Shout out to Taji, man. Quana, if you could type what that mean. All right. That's the last person I was supposed to send it out to. I was replying to Rel about the mixture he got. Oh, cool, 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 cool. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for coming in. Again, this is the Woke Wild podcast. We normally go live, and I have some apologizing to do. We normally go live every Friday at between 8 and 9. I always put out the time beforehand, but unfortunately, lately I've been caught up in the TikTok streets. But I am going to start coming back over here more. The last one I did over here was a vibe, King Culture, and I did that on Halloween. So it's been a whole month since I been over here. But I'm trying to get back into Facebook as well as TikTok. I'm about to start limiting the time on TikTok and start coming over here more because again, this is where I started at, and I was going hard up here for a minute. Yeah, between mine, Quails, K's, and anybody else, my homegirl Candace, between jumping on everybody's, I was over here for a lot. But lately, I just been in the TikTok streets chasing some things. But Quail, what's going on with you? What you got going on tonight? I can hear you.
So, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Oh, I can hear you and everything else in the background. Okay, yeah, but yeah. So I'm gonna start spending more time over here.
You offline.
I can hear you every
I
time.
know, but if you telling me you offline.
Oh no, I'm online. I'm very much here. But
Okay, yes, sir. We ain't gonna let it stop.
okay, yeah, I'm gonna start spending some more time over here. Politicking and stuff, whatever. But I appreciate everybody for the support on all platforms and on YouTube as well. Quail, if you want to introduce yourself, you can.
Hi, my name is Quill Southland. I'm from Flooding with Self Someone Podcast and etc. Hi.
Right. Your
It's a
next
great.
episode is tomorrow, right at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. What's your topic?
Hey, when they get that fire.
Oh yeah, when they get back backfires, definitely want to tune in for that because that's gonna be a good one. Yeah, but I appreciate you coming up and helping me out tonight. So I've been talking a lot to a lot of people this week, last week, between phone calls, just been on different panels. I've been asking different questions. And I be talking about, of course, it's always about what's important to us, and it's dating. So dating is a big part of the factor of like middle-aged people, especially if you're not, in a relationship or you're not, dealing with anybody. So you date. And again, everybody dates differently. Everybody's entitled to date and how they want to date, to each his own. But yeah. So I want to set the scene real quick for a scenario that I have, and I want you to give me some answers as you can. But for the notes I had, it's like you two people meet, and it's like maybe online or maybe at work or maybe through a friend, and there's an instant chemistry. Now, although there's an instant chemistry, you know, behind that conversation and everything, there's a lot of luggage. So we all have our own different luggage when it comes into, like, certain scenarios. Now, whether you date at the being with a long term relationship, a divorce, or, just like fresh off of a breakup or whatever, everybody has experience for the most part these days. And then we really want to dive into like the definition of baggage. And if anybody want to answer in the comments, you can tell us what you feel like baggage is when you're dating. And Quail, yeah. Quail, it says you're offline now. So I'm online, but it says you're offline. All right. But if anybody has a definition, I'll give y'all a little bit of time and then I'll put mine up here. Yeah, I never took you off the scene. You still here? Let me see. And I'm going to my comments. So, whether anybody says so or not, that's cool because that's what I'm here for. I got your back for those of you who don't know or don't care to answer. So, baggage is things that you're bringing into a relationship, and it doesn't always have to be negative baggage. It can be positive baggage, but for the most part, we dwell on the negative baggage. Let's see what we got. Quanta said trauma. That's very true. Case said extra stuff bringing in the relationship that doesn't need to be in the relationship. Absolutely. Can everybody hear me? Quail, are you on your phone or are you on your computer? All right. Everybody can hear me. Quail, I'm not sure what's going on, but it's everybody can hear me on my end. I think it may be your Bluetooth or your headset. All right. How about now? Can you hear me now? Okay.
It is unmuted, but I mean, I can't hear you. I'm
I
muting
can hear
myself
you.
so you won't hear my background.
Oh yeah, I can hear you, but can you hear me?
I even took my earbuds off.
Sorry, y'all.
Just take me down. I don't want to mess up your podcast because I can't hear my technical difficulties.
You're fine. If you want to jump in the comments, you can. Like I said, I'm
I
here.
can't hear you, so whatever you're saying, I can't.
All right. Y'all give me one moment. Okay, I'll leave it right here till she get it fixed. But yeah, it could be negative things. It could be positive things. And, there's different types of baggage, whether it be like Quanta said, trauma, or even what Kay said, bringing things that just does not need to be in a new situation into a new situation. So sometimes bringing stuff from an old place or whatever into a new situation can definitely cause problems. And it's up to us to decide if we're going to let these problems mess up what we got going on, or if we're going to try to work through them and see if we can maintain and make something positive out of the new situation. And even still, and depending on the person you're dealing with, it could be anything from kids or healing from betrayal, rebuilding financially, or even just learning to trust again. And of course, I like to break this always down into two situations, and that's men and women, because again, although there are always exceptions to the rule, I cannot stress that enough. 9 times out of 10, the majority, if you see it, especially like if you see it from your point of view, you can only go off of what you see. And that's why we have these conversations. So, like, if there is something wrong that's being put out there, well, let's correct it first and then see what we can do to avoid from putting it out there in the future. Anybody is always welcome to disagree with me or disagree. Yeah, I hear her and it's low too, whatever, but she said she couldn't hear me, bro. Yeah, so anybody's always, you're totally fine to disagree with me because we're not always going to all have the same opinions about things. But the perfect part about that is, as long as we're respectful to each other, we have time to grow, we have time to fix things, and we have time to, bounce ideas off of each other. So we don't have to worry about, miscommunications in the future on that same subject. So I'm going to start with the ladies. And again, anytime I get information about ladies, it's off of my experience that I see and off of people that I've questioned. So again, I've been going around asking questions this week or whatever, and people have been answering the questions whether they knew what they were about or not. Give me 1 minute, y'all. I keep getting messages, people asking me where they can watch the podcast at. I apologize. Okay. So for the ladies in the comments, what's something that y'all see as like baggage that, potentially that y'all bring into situations that could be either positive or negative? And after I get a few answers, or if not, after a few seconds, I'll go on and put down what I got. And that's saying that probably nobody disagrees with the information that I have here. But y'all might want to be careful giving me that kind of power. Yeah, she having some equipment errors, but it's all good. I know Quell got her shit going on right now with other people at the house. Yeah, something from your past, definitely. Could be a person, uh, you know, a person or, situation with that said person. Case at self awareness, absolutely. So yeah, these are all good things. Last call for anybody else. As far as like what women feel like they bring into like baggage into a relationship. All right, so here's what I got in my notes. So I'm going a little bit deep with this, but a lot of times with females, and this is just from what I've gotten, and again, bite my head off if you must, but explaining and correcting is always the best answer. So emotional overthinking baggage, like you're reading text messages like an ancient scripture, or you take something that somebody says the wrong way. I feel like emotional overthinking is probably one of the biggest things that a lot of women bring into relationships that can be left at the door, especially if they're trying to change. Kay said lack of trust. That's a good one. And wisdom from past mistakes. Those are good ones as well. And I think that goes into, and that plays so perfectly because I think that goes into emotional overthinking baggage sometimes. I get it. Last relationship was shit. That's why you single. That's why you're dating new people. Nothing wrong with that. We all go through it. But again, if you decided to, take a chance and try something new with us, a new person, then everybody deserves the benefit of the doubt. So being blamed for somebody's past mistakes, that's terrible, because you'll probably end up 9 times out of 10 pushing that person away, as opposed to trying to see if it'll work. And then, damn, I done turned around and did it again by myself again, and I actually lost out on a good person because I couldn't let go of shit that somebody did to me in the past. So that's one thing. Let's see what else we got. We also have the ladies who go from "I don't need a man" to "Oh yeah, I got a man." And now, what's the issue? Hyper independence. I'll say that again. Hyper independence. That's a different type of bag. So, constantly, when you have a man and constantly saying, "I don't need a man," girl, we know you can do it alone, but do you want to? That's the question that I ask a lot of my female friends, especially for the ones who aren't dating and saying that they want their person, or the ones who are dating, but everybody is full of shit and everybody on that bullshit, or if they can't find a very conscious reason as to why not to date a particular person. Everybody's guilty until proven innocent. Everybody gets a chance until they fuck up. So that hyper independence is the killer of a lot of relationships and a lot of beautiful situations, just because you can't get past your own way. And I get it. I'm very independent myself, so used to doing things on my own that when somebody comes along and they try to do something, it's kind of like, who are you? Who sent you? Quail said, definitely full of shit. Why you feel like that, Quail? Why do you feel like it's like everybody has that kind of baggage, or is that one of the issues that's like dealing with relationships? While Quail puts that up, I will say another baggage that I see a lot of women deal with. And again, ladies, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going off of my experience and going off, talking to other women. Louis, what's going on, bro? Appreciate you coming in. So far we got the hyper independence bag, where they don't need a man, they can do it by themselves until they can't do it by themselves. Then we got the emotional overthinking baggage, like, oh man, what is he doing? Is he out here doing this? Or you just like everybody else. Then you have the comparison baggage, wondering if you're better or worse or similar. Stop. Stay in your own lane. Stop thinking about shit like that. If a man chooses you, he chooses you. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But it's constantly trying to compare yourself to everybody else or other people, especially, again, I talked about this on a panel this week on TikTok, how, like, it's hard for people to make friends. And I did a poll, and people were making friends of the same sex, and then same sex and opposite sex. And majority of people said they had more friends of the opposite sex as opposed to the same sex because they get along with them better. Whereas their same sex friends, they've known them for years, because 9 times out of 10, when new people of the same sex come into that category with women, they're standoffish because they're like, okay, what's her intentions? Who is she? Why is she here? So I see that a lot. And a lot of people really, they recognize it, but they don't recognize it. Tree, what's going on, Mom? Appreciate you coming in. So that's another one too, that comparison baggage. And what's another baggage that women have? Oh, this is a big one, especially for our older people dating and stuff. The fear of wasting time baggage. And I see it with younger people too, but a lot of older women have that issue. People our age. So like they feel like they're wasting their time. They're in a situation and it's not going anywhere, or it's not moving on the time restraint that they choose for it to move on. And then they feel like they're wasting their time. So I wonder if it's wasted time because they have a certain time schedule set in their head, or is it wasted time because they don't see things moving forward? Normally it's the latter, but a lot of times too, you also see that it's not on their time schedule. So they feel like they're wasting time. So how do we combat that? There's got to be ways to get around that, ways to express our opinions without, pushing people away. Oh, Quell, I agree with you. She said everybody's not full of shit, but I'm only speaking from my experiences. And that's all you can do. I told somebody that this week as well. Like, I can't say that I can speak for everybody, but I can only speak from my experiences and from the questions I ask, because closed mouths don't get fed and knowledge is power. So if I'm going off of my experiences and I'm going off of what I've asked people, then that's the only thing that I can base things off. That's anybody. I can't base things off of, hypothetical questions or hypothetical scenarios. But how do we combat those baggages? What's a good way that you can avoid those baggages or get around them when they do come up? Because of course it's always going to come up. One of the main things I see is about how you question people and how you say things. The way you say things can make or break a relationship of any kind, whether it be a friendship, social, a business relationship, anything. So I think that we have to watch the words that we say and how we use them. The same way that I might teach something to Quail, I couldn't teach it to Tree, or vice versa. She might get it differently than another person. So, for an example, as far as the relationships, instead of asking, what are your intentions? You could try to say, what is your capacity right now, emotionally, mentally, or time wise? And then decide if that's something that you can deal with. Because a lot of times these are questions that we don't ask or whatever. And we just like the idea of being with that person and not understanding that, hey, maybe they're not emotionally ready right now for all of this, or maybe they're not, mentally or have time to deal with all this. And again, it's not fair to you or that person if you try to push a lot of things onto them at one time and they're not ready for it. So you have to fix, you have to be accepting of, hey, can I deal with what this person has to give me? Or do I just need to, back off and give them time, or just move on and go about my business? So, I mean, to each his own. Everybody is capable of thinking logically for themselves or thinking what's best for them. But I guarantee that if certain questions were asked in a different way, or if they were even asked in general, that a lot of that shit would save you a lot of time, heartache, and money. Now, I'm trying to look and see. I don't really have too much other stuff for the women or whatever, because, and again, I'm a big learner of experience. So when I go into panels and when I talk to people or whatever, I listen to the things they say and see if it applies to me, one, and see if it's anything that I can give my experiences or knowledge about. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't apply. It flies over my head because I'm not involved in it, and I don't care to be involved in it because it's a lot of drama that I don't need in my life right now. But the bashing of women is old. The bashing of men is old, because we all have our faults and flaws. I feel like we just need to get over that and just move forward, because again, at the end of the day, this is a situation that, whereas we come together, or whatever your preference is, excuse me, whether it's other women or, yeah. So men, what are our baggage? Does anybody understand or know of any, can give any example of the baggage that men have? I'll give y'all a few seconds to answer. If not, I'll go ahead with my explanation. Shout out to my bro Lobo, tuning in from YouTube. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming in. Any baggage that men have? So while doing this little oh, Louis said lack of emotional awareness sometimes, and I agree with that, bro. I too have been guilty of that, so I applaud you for saying that. Tree said a million baby mamas and no job. Now, Trish, a lot of these women got a million kids out there too, or whatever. So if there's a million, if you got a million baby mamas, that means there's a million women out here with kids and stuff too that they bring it into relationships. So that goes both ways. Well, that's something that we have to consider because I would never, you can't shame women for the amount of kids they have when you come into a relationship. It's either for you or not for you. And I feel like the same thing, the same grace should be given to men as well. Because, some of us are out here multiplying and fruitful. And, to each his own. That's not my preference, but hey, I don't judge and I don't knock nobody for what they got going on as far as how many kids they got or whatever. So people have insecurities that can be overbearing, and it's in that big ass baggage you gonna always be arguing about something. Absolutely. And that is the object of the game for me, is to avoid that at all costs. I ain't no way in hell I want to be sitting around arguing with the person that's supposed to be my little yeah every fucking day or every fucking week or every time something happens, whether it be monthly, yearly, or whatever. That's not, of course we're going to have disagreements. Of course we're going to have arguments. But when it's a constant thing, that shit gets old quick. Don't nobody want to fucking do that. So, anybody else before I go on? Any other baggage that y'all think that men possess? Louis, absolutely. Argue with yourself. I ain't got time for it. So, some other baggage that I feel like men possess is the emotional shutdown baggage. I'll say that again. Some baggage that men possess and is the emotional shutdown baggage. This is some of the baggage that I see the most out of men. You didn't threw your all into a relationship, it broke you, and now you don't want to communicate like a controller unplugged from a PlayStation or some shit. Keep stuttering everything. Hell no, please that to the last bit of motherfucker. Okay, Quill. This is a safe place. You can calm down here. But yeah, that emotional shutdown baggage, I feel like, is one of the biggest things. And I too have dealt with it. I'm not just putting this on anybody else. A lot of times I like to use myself as a personal example when it comes to like men. So I don't put anybody else in there. But yeah, emotional shutdown baggage, I have been there. I've done it. And, I'm trying to get better from it. I'm not saying I'm always perfect, but I try it. Another one is financial recovery baggage. A lot of people don't understand that when a man has been in a long-term relationship, a good man, excuse me, can't speak for every man, but a man that's worth his salt. If he's been in a long-term relationship or whatever with a woman, and they break up and they got to start over, especially if they got kids or whatever, that's going to take a toll on his pockets because he went from taking care of everything in one household to still trying to have to take care of that household plus dish money out to her for the kids or any other situations that they may have going on. Bless you if you can get away from a situation without kids. Deontay said lack of purpose. Absolutely. I agree with that. Lack of purpose is a good one. Sometimes you feel like, well, shit, what am I here for? Especially when you're dealing with a woman that, she's so independent. And when you try to tell her things or show her things that she doesn't want that help because she's so used to doing it on her own, which is not a bad thing or whatever, but it's because, and I agree that sometimes women have to do things on their own, depending on the situation they have with a partner that didn't work out or if they been let down before. But when you have a man that's actually trying or whatever, it's okay to let that man, try to take lead. But yeah, that was a good one, Deontay. Shout out to you. With some other baggage, I said the emotional shutdown, financial recovery, trust issue baggage. So you're into her, but she's also side eyeing you as well as other things. We've all been there. We've all seen it. It's all happened to us. Yes, motherfucker. You be rich because you look good. Now all my money go to bills. Rich, what's going on, bro? Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a reason. So the financial recovery baggage, the trust issue baggage, and the identity loss baggage. Men often tie identity to roles. So if a man's so used to being a husband, a provider, a protector, and then he goes to being single, whatever, sometimes he's complacent and doesn't know what to do with himself. Who the hell am I? Who the hell am I now? I was a father, and you can still be a father whether you're single or with the baby mom or whatever. But when you're so used to being there for the day in day out, and then you had that time to yourself or whatever, what the fuck are we doing now? I feel like that was a big thing that I had to get over or whatever. That was like, and again, I've told people this several times. That's probably one of my biggest failures as an adult male. That I don't wake up every morning to my son. So that was a big issue for me. Deontay said pride. That's a good one as well. Sometimes our pride get in the way, especially as a man. Men are very prideful. I'm not saying that women aren't, but men hold that pride thing to a higher standard, I believe. And again, to each his own. It's always different. There's always exceptions to the rule, but that could be a big one as well. All right. So one of the things that I learned, especially like from dating and just being around and talking and questioning people about what it is that they're looking for in different relationships and everything. The biggest thing that I learned is that women do not need perfect. You do not have to be perfect. They just need you to be self-aware. So if you see that you're lacking in some things or whatever, don't act like you don't try to ignore it because it's not going to go away. Especially with a woman who's about her salt or whatever, because she wants you to be the best version of you, even though that version of you is not perfect. I feel like that our words are important because how we say things and when we say things matter the most. So instead of saying, "Oh yeah, that ain't me and I can't do this or whatever," just say, "Hey, I'm working on blase blase, but I'm open to growing with the right person." And that sentence alone is grown man energy. Like I can't stress that enough. I'm not perfect, but I try. I'm looking and I want to do this and I want you with me and that's the way I want it, and that's if you'll have me. That sentence right there, whatever, is some grown man shit. Is sometimes we have to put that pride to the side, like Deontay said, or whatever, and just be real with ourselves and be real with that lady. Rich said, fact that it hurts when you used to hearing your kids every morning. Now you hear nothing that sucks. Absolutely, bro. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. That's why I try to cherish the times that I have with my son or whatever when he's around. So that fear of wasted time baggage is another thing that's on men's side too. Ladies, can y'all give examples of some kind of baggage that y'all seen from men that y'all have dealt with in the past? And fellas, if you can give examples of baggage you've seen from women you dealt with in the past or currently, if you choose to, not to be messy, but I say the past just for respect's sakes. Shout out to this camera, man. I like my little setup now, or whatever. I think I'm gonna start using this setup more, especially when I want like TikTok and shit. The infamous a baby mama, and I feel like as the men we can say that as well. The baby daddy or whatever, a present baby daddy, or the one that just won't go away. You don't even ask for nothing. Damn, man, she's so damn fine or whatever. Don't worry about it. I got the kids. Just go away. Some of y'all been there before. Tree said he was a narcissist. Absolutely. Or a green lighter. Yeah, I've had a woman like that. She was a green lighter. Yeah, gaslighter. Excuse me. I said a green lighter. Oh, I've been drinking too much. Gaslighter. Tree said he cheated and tried to make me feel bad because I left. I only cheated on you because I don't know you did something bad in your past life, and God is making me do this because this is your karma. Some shit like that. Ariel, what's going on, mama? Mommy and daddy issues. Yes, I agree. I've seen that before as well. Ariel, I hope you're doing well. Jonte on YouTube. What's going on, bro? Jonte said that sometimes women are so used to being done wrong that when a good guy presents himself, they're just not in a place to receive it. Absolutely, I agree. I think that's on both sides too. I feel like that's men too. So I feel like men are staying down a little bit more on it, but women definitely. I know you are. I know you're tired or whatever. I'm gonna hit you up later. Toya, what's going on, ma? I appreciate you coming through. Thank you so much. Kay said the same as Tree. Tree said I agree with him. Absolutely, yeah. So the problem is that we all go through stuff and we don't, instead of us recognizing that hey, other people go through things too, we just, oh, woe is me. Yeah. You're not the only person that goes through things. Women go through things just as much as men go through things. So that's something that we have to get over and get past if it's ever gonna work. Terrence, what's going on, bro? Terrence said past childhood trauma. Quail said musty. Oh man. Yes. Ninjas be lying. Girl, where you been? Yeah. We all go through things. So when you're dating with a purpose or you're trying to date, you gotta put some of that trauma out the way or whatever, because if you bring it into a new situation, it's never gonna work. Again, use that past trauma and those past experiences as lessons, and use it also to know what to look for in your next relationship so you don't go through it. But just bringing it along just to be adding on to a situation or thinking everybody's the same, that's no bueno. So I'm so glad about the reunion we got. Life been life and boo. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So where are we at now? Let me look through the rest of my notes or whatever. Unpacking. Okay, so all right. I don't want to do this part right here. I'll save that for TT. All right. Let me look at the rest of this. All right. So the next section I'm gonna do real quick is how to reveal your baggage without scaring each other off. That I feel like that's a good one too, or whatever. Because sometimes, Taji, I almost said something to you, but I'm gonna save it for the panel. And I did send it out when I started. I sent it out to you and one other person or whatever. So it's not my fault, but I appreciate you being here, bro. Thank you so much. Richard said, "What I hate is some females think you a deadbeat dad, but low key is not you. It's the baby mama letting not let you see a child." Absolutely. I've seen situations like that too. Some good dudes, whatever, being put in the doghouse or whatever for things that's outside of their control. Okay, so where were we at? I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, how to reveal your baggage without scaring each other off. I feel like there's a difference between revealing and unloading. So there's a difference, especially like if you're like first meeting somebody or whatever. Ariel, unpack him, unpack him. Yeah. So there's a difference between revealing what you got going on in your life and unloading. Yeah. Rail said there's so many ways around that, Rich. So that's not an excuse. But okay. Ninjas Be Lying said Richard Matt Truck Butler. I know that happens. Toya said that really happens a lot. My son is going through the same thing, but we're taking her to court because ain't no deadbeats over here. Absolutely. Communicate effectively is what Ninjas Be Lying say. You can't reveal too much too fast. That's how you unpack without unloading. Absolutely, Toya. And yeah, communicate effectively, talk through the issues, work through them piece by piece, and know you are both in it together and it's a team effort. I feel like the number one reasons why people break up suddenly or whatever when it comes to unloading is because they feel like, hey, I'm unloading too much at one time, and then they try to pace it out, but they pace it out too long or they're too scared to let it out eventually. And then I find out 3 months down the road, you've been on OnlyFans or whatever, shaking your ass, and everybody in the neighborhood has seen it. That's diabolical. Certain things need to be unloaded first and foremost, and then others as we go. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, reveal, don't unload, because it's not therapy, and your date is not an emotional dump site. So you're the person that you're, with is not you don't dump everything on them, because then that person's not gonna want to be around you. Every time I come around you, you unloading and telling me about all these situations, which I'm here for you or whatever. But every time, that's crazy work. Oh shit, yeah. Louis said OF is crazy works, and then Ninja Be Line said sometimes you have to take the time to know someone. People will tell you things without you asking if you listen. You know what, Ariel? I give you your credit too or whatever, because you're one of those people or whatever. You pick up on shit very well. I've noticed that about you or whatever. And I appreciate that too, because I see why I like when you're at your job and stuff, whatever. People feel like you're easy to talk to. So I get that. So what's the other one? Give headlines, not the whole documentary. I so for an example, it's like I have trust issues from my last relationship and I'm working on it. But you ain't got to tell me every detail they did. When he cheated with the neighbor, the baby mama, and he tried to holler at my mama too. Yeah, that's too much or whatever. That's a lot of drama. Taji, that's a good one as well. If it needs to be explained, you should be upfront about it. Yeah, if you got an OnlyFans page, let me know now. Tell me why you have it, and are you going to continue to do it, or is it something that you're willing to let go? Because I deserve to know. Absolutely. And then just be lying said facts. Rail said exactly. You need to go and tell the important stuff first. You know what's a priority and what's not. If it's not, if I got to find out something crazy about you months later and you should have told me from the start, I'll dip if it's too much. Absolutely. And I feel like everybody needs that, courtesy or whatever, because they deserve to make the choice whether it's something they want to deal with or not. Absolutely. Latoya said nothing needs to be unpacked until both parties agree on actually pursuing a long term relationship. That's the good part right there, Toya. First dates is not where you unpack shit at. Yeah, we decided, yeah, you're gonna be my little yeah or whatever. Okay, let me know what's going on first or whatever, so we can see if this really something we can make, make a unity or whatever. Not when I'm first trying to get to know you or whatever. You telling me about how your rent's past due about 6 months or whatever, and you need help moving, and yeah, you need a car, and yeah, I get that. What else we got? Yeah. So give headlines, not the whole documentary. Share what you've learned and not just the hurt. That's a good one too, or whatever. So a lot of times we want to share the hurt or whatever, but we don't share the knowledge that came from it, or the lessons that we learn from it. So that's good. Um, Terrence said finances. Yeah. Cause like if I'm bad with money and you're bad with money, then we're gonna be making bad decisions with money altogether, and that can't be it. Now, if you're working on being better with money, and I'm working on being better with money, but I'm not quite as far as you, you can let me know that up front or whatever, and we can set budgets and everything. Because again, it's tough living out here, and who needs another bill? And I don't need nobody that's gonna be another bill to me. So yeah, finances is a good one, Terrence. And discernment, you need to see where people are at mentally. Yes, indeed, because everybody mental is not on the same level. That homecoming and then is as dependent off top. That homing coming in as a dependent off top. Quell explain. HO3. Okay. These are all good. These are all good. I see right now I'm gonna have to mute some groups because every time I log on to the computer, it's like all this shit goes off, and I need to mute it on the computer as well. All right, what's the next one we got? Uh, Not only are we sharing what we learned, not just the hurt, but we also need to ask them about their baggage too, because if you decide to do it and it's all just you, then a person feel like, okay, well, I'm just here as a therapist or whatever, I should be getting paid for this or whatever. Especially if it's a person that you're trying to build with, you need to know what they've been through too as well, so you can help them with that, because it's not just a one-sided thing. Hold on 1 minute, y'all. My fault, I was texting my son. All right. Nah, no free therapy. Absolutely. I learned that from the best. Yeah. Sometimes people, especially if they know that you're a good listener, they'll trauma dump on you so much or whatever, and that get tiresome. That'll weigh you down. Nobody wants that shit. Nobody wants to feel like they're being like only being pulled around just so people can dump on them or whatever. Because yeah, I need to let loose too or whatever. I don't want the burden of all that shit. Especially if it comes to find out you're not my person. So yeah. Now I'm gonna do nah, because that could turn into emotional abuse. Absolutely. That'll cause somebody to break down and whatever. And yeah, it's not good. So let's look at this real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna do my wild style different today because I know that's what y'all wanted. So I'm gonna do it different. Wild style. This week I was given some advice on how I do things, and I appreciate that said advice because I realized that like I have different people that view me. So again, I never want anybody to feel like that I'm taking advantage of them coming in here and doing, just using this platform as to talk about one thing. So I try to switch it up. And again, I always tell people that if they have ideals of things that they want me to speak on, they are more than welcome to shoot them by me because steel sharp is steel. So I have no problem with having conversations about anything that anybody's interested in, especially if it's something that a lot of people can relate to. So if anybody has any ideas about stuff like this, they're more than welcome to come through and send me a text message or shoot me a DM if not. But most people, if you need it, y'all can message me anytime, and I'm more than likely to put something together, and also have you up if you want to speak about it if it's something that you're very passionate about. So definitely, people not really considerate of the baggage they bring. Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Some people feel like that. Oh yeah, I could just dump this and that's it. So for my wild style or whatever, I want to talk about when it comes to emotional baggage, how that affects like the environment of the home or like, the surroundings or the atmosphere, like if you're dating or something, or if you come to my house or I come to your house, how does that affect that? One, I don't like no anybody that knows me knows I do not like any kind of negativity around me. And 9 times out of 10, if I get it, I'm gonna fucking dismiss it very quickly. Um, and when you have somebody coming around you with all that negative like energy and stuff, whatever, that can build up. I'm a big believer in negative energy buildup. And sometimes it get too much. It feels like you're weighted down or whatever. It's like everything's gloomy. So I don't like that. That is very, very, that's a very, very, very big thing for me. So I suggest that like when you have people that come around you and they're constantly negative, you need to eliminate them coming into your personal space, especially if that's the space where you're supposed to be a safe haven, whether it be your house or wherever. Yeah, hey, I'll come meet you over at your place. If you want to keep that energy over there, fine. But you can't be around me with too much negative energy. I like peace, especially somewhere where I lay my head at. For I'm gonna say since like June or July, Ariel said, I don't want anybody in my house. It's my sanctuary. Ariel, we've had a conversation about that too. Toya said, everything is spiritual. Be intentional with people and things you entertain. Absolutely. Taji said, one can feel like you have to walk on eggshells around people because you don't want to trigger them because they're not healed from whatever baggage they bring. Yes. And that's not right. I don't want to walk on eggshells around anybody. 9 times out of 10, if I feel like I gotta walk on eggshells around you, I'm gonna go and put the prayer finger up and tiptoe out because who the fuck wants to do that? Nobody wants to do that. Yeah. So that's the only thing I really have for the wild style or whatever. I do not I do not recommend that you have anybody who has negative energy in your inner circle, whether they be friend or acquaintance. If they bring a negativity with them every time they go somewhere, leave them where they at. Nobody wants to have that negative energy around them all the time. That's depressing. That's a mood killer. That's a vibe killer. However you look at it. But yeah, try to keep, especially your place where you're supposed to be able to lay your head down, or the place where you're supposed to be your safe place, your haven. Yeah, you gotta let that shit go. Rail said, didn't we all go through that situation before? Yes. And we left her right over there on that panel. Taji, yes, indeed, sir. I ain't been in a while, but I know how to hold the prayer finger up now when it's my time to go. Let me tiptoe out of here because, yeah, I ain't trying to have that. Especially if you come over and then you start drinking up all my liquor or my yak. No, sir. You got to go. Ain't no way in hell. But yeah, I that was one thing that was laid on me or whatever because, like I said, it's been a lot of time where people have like they feel like they could just come over to you and trauma dump, or it's always something negative that they bring with them. I'm not into that. I want to be at peace in my home where I lay my head at. So yeah, that's the word that I have, man. Let your safety space and let your sanctuary be your sanctuary. That's not a place where you should be entertaining any kind of trauma dumping or anything. All right, so I'm gonna finish with that because this other stuff I'm gonna save for TikTok because I don't want to do it over here, especially with the music and stuff that they try to X against you on Facebook. But I will say this in closing: baggage isn't a flaw. So never think that the baggage that you carry is a flaw, as long as it's something that you recognize as baggage and you can take it for what it's worth. That baggage is like an evidence that you've lived before, you've loved before, and you've hurt before, and you survived it. So the real question, it's not whether someone's baggage is too much or too little. You have to, one, see if they're carrying it responsibly, And then two, decide if that's something that you can deal with your baggage or something that you're going through. Whether you have a little bit of baggage or like a little bit of baggage or a lot of baggage. When that baggage piles up, especially when it's coming from another person, you have to understand that, can I deal with this or can I not deal with this? Or is this something I'm willing to take on because I like this person a lot? Or is this something that I just can't do? And honesty is key with that because, again, you have to be honest with people. Taji said, yeah, don't touch my Christmas decorations. Yeah, don't touch. I showed y'all my Christmas decorations. Don't touch my Christmas decorations. You can, don't, well, I'll say this. Don't open my Christmas decorations if y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. And don't finish the last of my Christmas decorations. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, you have to see if they carry their baggage responsibly, and whether they they respect the bags that you have too. Because if you're supposed to respect what they have going on, they also have to respect what you have going on. And I'm a big advocate for communication and compromise. So if you one, communicate about it, and then see if there's somewhere y'all can meet in the middle. If it's somebody that you really care about, it's somebody that you really try to, see what it be about. Yeah, definitely nothing's over a conversation and trying to compromise about it. I feel like if two people can share like what they're openly healing from, one, what they're ready for and what they're still learning, then that could go through a lot of shit or whatever. So never think that sometimes it's too much for anything. What did Todd just say? Ninjas Be Lying said, Taji, I hurt somebody for that. And Latoya said, it doesn't have to be baggage if you're healed. You can't carry what you no longer have. Absolutely. That's a good one. Bag lady, you gonna hurt your back. Dragging out on bags like that. I agree with you, Ariel. And Toya says sharing your experience is not baggage. Yeah, it's only a baggage when you're holding on to it. So yeah, I appreciate that. And I appreciate all the input and all the comments tonight. Definitely appreciate all that. Let's see. What do I have coming up? Y'all just bear with me. I'm gonna try to get back over here on Facebook a lot more because I've been spending a lot of time on other apps. Even though the other apps, I feel like it's a little bit more freedom over there. Sometimes it can be a lot of bullshit, and each app has its pros and its cons. But I definitely want to start getting back over here more. I got a few episodes in the chamber. I just haven't released them yet, but just decided on what platforms I want to do them on. But again, I'll be over here on Fridays between. I might start at 8, might start at 9, but definitely on TikTok, I start on Mondays at 8 o'clock. And I appreciate everybody who came in tonight, not only from Facebook, but from YouTube and some of my TikTok family that came over here as well. I really appreciate y'all. Um, right, Ariel, that is what the song is about. Kay called it ignorant. So yeah. But yeah, let me see. While I got my notes pulled up, let's see. I did this one on TikTok or whatever, but I feel like I want to bring it to Facebook as well. I got an episode for protecting your peace, so I feel like next Friday, that's what I'm going to tackle over here. No, not protecting your peace. No, sorry. It's going to be friendships and lifelines. That's the one. And I got a couple in the archive or whatever that I haven't done over here, but I did over there. So yeah, I'm gonna bring a couple of these episodes back so everybody can get a taste of it. For those of you who don't be on TikTok and haven't followed the page, I definitely want to bring some of that stuff over here. But I appreciate everybody for coming in. Again, hope everybody's enjoying their weekend and the rest of their night. If y'all like this, please send a like to the page. I definitely appreciate it. And make sure y'all follow me on all platforms. It's the Woke and Wild Podcast, all spelled out one word. But thank y'all so much. I really appreciate y'all. Hope you have a great night, great weekend. Peace.